Good afternoon. It is Friday, the 16th of September of 2022. I'm looking today at the quality, the energy, the concept of discernment. And the first thing that comes to me is discernment is not a noun. It is not a thing. It's a process. And it's one that takes a certain amount of time to unfold. So discernment comes as this quality that goes counter to the cultural pattern of reaction, quick evaluation, all of those automatic responses that come up when we encounter some information from the outside. I'm going to use the floods in Pakistan just as an example, that as you first hear about a disaster in some part of the world, that the first action that is needed in the process of discernment is to take a deep breath, because there's an emotion that arises, there's a feeling of danger that arises. And it's almost as though as this comes in, it pushes up against us and says, okay, how would you deal with this? And it's important to take a deep breath and relax. Come back to the center of your own being. Recognize that in this moment, you're not in danger. This is not an immediate threat to you. You can be at ease. And already you've helped yourself settle away from all of the conditioned chatter of your mind to come back into your body. Now, that doesn't mean that the archetype within you, the identity within you that reacts next is still the one who's looking at the world, is some calm and quiet creature. And so the next aspect of discernment for me is to look at, okay, who within me is hearing this and reacting to it? For me, as I first heard about the flooding in Pakistan, the one who heard it was the young woman who went on a seminarian's tour of mission projects and stood on the eastern slopes of the Khyber Pass and witnessed the Pakistani people caring for Afghan refugees, who went and saw a school where the Pakistani women were teaching Afghan girls how to read and write and do math. Because this was at a point when the Soviet Union had invaded Afghanistan, and it didn't look like there would be many men or boys that would survive it. So in order to carry the history, it was important for the little girls to be taught. So this is the one who heard that news. And there was a sense of heartbreak. These wonderful, generous people now faced with a tidal wave of water. And so letting that come into this whole mix, going, okay, I know who's seeing this. Yeah, I feel the sadness. Yeah. That's true. That's true. And then being able to move one step further and looking out at these people and dropping the projections of, oh, you poor things. Oh, this is terrible. This is awful. Oh. Calling back all the projections and assumptions and going, okay, what I want to be able to be clear about is that this event is not everything about who you are. And a little bit of my experience already tells me that you are people of great determination, generosity. You found the capacity to take on this huge influx of population over decades. You've had to adapt. Your environment has been disrupted in many ways before. You are, in some ways, a very resilient people. And yes, you're going through a huge challenge in these moments, in these days, in these months. And some of you will survive, and others of you will not. And that is sad to me. That is a loss to me. But the quality of discernment, the quality of getting to that stable, solid place also allows me to go, let me offer you my highest blessing. All of the light, all of the clarity, all of the sense of being able to connect with your deepest inner resources. May I send you the energy that will help you not be afraid, or to be able to keep on moving even though you are afraid. And may I also send that light and that energy to everyone who may be inclined to step forward and help you in some way through all of this. That all of us can come around you in the ways that others have come, that you have come around others in the past. And now, while I don't know the experience of having my land flooded, I begin sensing that there is some function of discernment going on within me that allows me to both not be overwhelmed myself, not assume that they're overwhelmed, which I think is the way that we get to compassion and to that sense of the empowerment of all. Empowerment in the sense of them being able to tap into their deepest strength, their deepest compassionate, caring nature for one another, their ability to shift gears and find new and different responses. And then I get to take the action of simply going to the United Methodist Committee on Relief, which was who sponsored my seminarians tour, and sending a donation saying, this is for relief in Pakistan. So that's the whole process that allows me to get to a right action for me. Now, there won't always be an action. Well, let me take that back, because even the intent of blessing is an action. So I don't want to underestimate the value of sending that sense of honor and light to people, because I think that that can make a huge difference in terms of their energetic experience. So that's where I move to when I think about discernment. And I hope that I can bring it to the vast array of challenges that enter my life, that flash past me in a feed of news or a bit of information from a friend, so that I can be in the service of all that's happening from a detached, compassionate partnership with it. I'll leave it in your hands, let you look at it and think about it and see where it fits in your life. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.